today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Jarael. She's part of the comic pack line for the Legacy Collection. I think she was one of the last comic book packs that was released alongside like Darth Nil and Delia Blue and Yasane Nazard and Baron Fell. Those particular ones that were Entertainment Earth exclusives. So this is not one that people really found out in the wild unless you happen to get on Entertainment Earth at the time, which back in 2008, 2009, I don't think Entertainment Earth was quite as popular and mainstream as it is today, at least in the collecting community. So if you were fortunate enough to get this pack at the time, it was only $13.99, but if you keep a close eye on a lot of those Legacy Collection comic packs, you would know that this is probably one of the most expensive ones out there. So if I ever complete this pack, it's probably going to be in the distant future, and there's really not a huge rush for me to complete it right now. So in this pack you have Jarael, and then you have a character named Roland, who's a Mandalorian, and he's a unique action figure, I would say, just from what I've seen of him. I have seen him in person before, so that kind of leads into how I acquired this action figure. So I actually got her the same exact time as the Ki-Adi-Mundi and Sharad Het comic pack. And they had this particular Jarael loose by herself, and she was $40. And they also had the comic pack complete and brand new, and that was like 180, I think, is what they were asking. And at the time I was like, I'm not really particular about owning Roland right now, so I'll hold off on that, and I'll just get the loose Jarael by herself, and she's in great shape, brand new. As far as I know, she's complete. So I went ahead and paid $40 for her, which, looking back on it, that was a really good deal for this. $40 for an action figure, yes, that's a little much, but given the particular character she is, not too bad of a deal. Especially when I get on eBay and I see prices of her like double that easily. So not too bad. At some point, like I said, I do want to get Roland, but it's probably going to be in the future, and there's not really a particular rush for me to get him. So we'll see at some point. Who knows, maybe one of these days I'll see a good deal for him that I just can't pass up on, and I'll be reviewing him before the end of the year even. I don't know. Sometimes that stuff's very unpredictable. So a little bit of background about her character. I kind of alluded to her in my Knights of the Old Republic collection video I did recently, and she is from that particular era, and particularly in the comic pack or the comic books. I had to do a little bit of reading about her character before I recorded this video, because I have not read the Knights of the Old Republic comic book series. I do recall when it was released initially, and I thought, oh wow, that's cool, it's getting its own comic book series. But then I kind of looked through it a little bit, and I thought, this isn't really too directly tied into the games. I know it's in the same time period, but it's not really about like Darth Revan or Malak or Bastila or those particular events. About the closest reference that I read a little bit about her to the games was that she spent a lot of time with Zane Carrick, who's the main character in the comic books, down in the lower city of Terrace. So perhaps she bumped into the Hidden Beck Gain or the Black Vulcar Gain or some of the other swoop gains that were prevalent at the time. I'm not too sure what time period in Knights of the Old Republic comic books are in. I think it's within like 50 years or less of the games themselves, so a lot of those gains are probably around, or some version of them, swoop gains for sure. And also the other reference is that she's Arcanian, actually, which if you played Brotherhood of Shadows, you recall the character Kobayashi, who ends up joining your party for that particular mod in the game, and he's Arcanian as well. So it's interesting seeing that reference carried over into more than one thing. What else can I tell you about her? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and dive into her figure here, and she's a very unique action figure. I don't even know if she's really a Jedi. I didn't really see any reference material that specifically says that, yes, she's a Jedi. I think she might just happen to have some type of lightsaber here that's unique compared to what we normally see. So very nice sculpting work. Looks very feminine. A lot of times you get women action figures and sometimes they don't really look like women at all. This one definitely does. Has very distinctive features about her. So one distinctive part about her being Arcanian, she has a specific skin color about her, kind of like a greenish blue. Very vibrant. And she has a lot of tattoos, which I think signify which tribe she's a part of, or which specific part of Arcanian she is. It's very nicely detailed and applied nicely. Nice sculpting work in her hair there. They even kind of sculpted her ears a little bit. Kind of pointed at the end, almost look elven. Yeah, nice hair sculpt there. And it looks like it's all one particular piece, like the head and the hair are not sculpted separately. It looks like it's molded as one thing. And for the rest of her outfit here, pretty basic. She does have a... And we'll just move that to the side for now. She does have this pouch here. Strap around it, and it is a separate piece. You can take it off. You probably have to pop her head off, which is very easy to do. Just take that off if you decide to. Totally sleeveless. And she has these black gloves with elbow pads of some sorts. Nice detailing on that. A little bit of golden color. And she has some pouches around her belt here, around her waist. She has a soft good skirt here, which is an interesting material. It looks like a very thick material, but at the same time it's very thin. You know, you can see all the way through there. And it is a little bit frayed on mine. I'm not sure if it's meant to be that way or if all samples are that way. At least the one I have is. And for the rest of her, she's just got brown pants and black boots, basically. Look very good. So in terms of her articulation, she does have a ball joint at the head here. Kind of restricted because of that hair sculpt, though. So you pretty much can only get it in a few poses. It's mostly her head tilted to her left side. And that's pretty much it, but it's not that big of a deal. I've never really had the need to have to super articulate her neck. She does have hinge at the shoulders and hinged elbows, which go about 90 degrees. Swivel forearms, not swivel wrists. And she does have a swivel waist, I think. Kind of a swivel waist. Might have to be careful about that because it almost looks like her part of her skirt here kind of wants to pop out, and I imagine it's only being held into place by her belt. So perhaps by rotating her waist around too much, that could pop out. She does have swivel hips and then hinge knees, and I think, yeah, no articulation to ankles, it looks like. Which is kind of surprising for figure this time in the comic packs. By then they were pretty much all super articulated all around. But it's perfectly fine. I never really had a problem with her standing on her own, even without a stand. So for accessories, other than her pouch here, she does have this interesting staff slash lightsaber, and as you can see, it does have a Of course, this is the regular staff down here. She does hold well in her hand, but then you got this blade up here. So you got a blade, and then it looks like part of the staff again, and then a blade again. So that's a very unique design that I've never seen anywhere in Star Wars before outside of this character. I'm not sure of the science behind it. I'm going to have to go back and take a look at it. It's a pretty interesting design. I'm not sure if she's meant to really hold it here and then hold it here and then wield it that way. It'd be very awkward, I think. And the fact is what if this is like a lightsaber blade and then she has it unignited? Then what happens to this piece, you know? Just very interesting physics behind this. But still, if you can put all that aside, it is a pretty nice accessory. And it does look really good with her action figure here. I find she usually holds it better in both hands instead of just one. I think she holds it better in her left hand over right. But you can get her to hold it in both hands if you want to. Let's see here. Something like that. And there's various poses you can get her in. I'm not sure if she has Ichani training or anything like that. I think Kobayashi in the Brotherhood of Shadows mod, I think he had some Ichani training behind him. And I'm not sure if that's really a standard thing in the Arcanian race here. So, like I said, I don't have her other half rolling here. But what I do have is the next best Mandalorian. That's Mandalore himself from similar era. And they look pretty good together. Not sure if I really showed the tattoo on that arm so much. Very interesting designs. But other than that, that's pretty much all I can really tell you about Jarael here. She's a very nice action figure. I would say probably one of the most unique ones that Hasbro's ever made in terms of accessories and just overall look. I don't think we have any other Arcanians that Hasbro's ever made, so if you really want one for your collection, she's the one to get. Would I recommend her for your collection? Yes, I would. Would I say go out and spend a fortune for her? Maybe not. If you have the money to burn, then sure, no problem there. But if you are a person that's on a budget and you're very particular about how expensive action figures are, I would suggest holding off and wait for a deal on her. I would say $40 is totally worth it for what I paid for it. But if you happen to find her for $40 loose, I would say that's definitely a good deal to jump on. And even if you found this pack brand new for about $100, I would say that's still a halfway decent deal for a pack that is always on the expensive side no matter what. At the time, it was an online exclusive, so I don't think people really found it in stores. So it was kind of like first come, first serve, ordering through Entertainment Earth. And I don't think they lasted very long anyway. So if you're one of the lucky few to get for $13.99, I think the price was, you're very fortunate in that case. But over the years, it's definitely been a high demand pack. Knights of the Republic action figures are always in high demand, even if they're not from the main game. and I don't think Jarael will be getting cheaper anytime soon, and I highly doubt Hasbro will ever really revisit the character again. So if you really want her for your collection, I would say keep an eye out, and you might just have to pay a little bit more than you're comfortable with. But price aside, she's a solid action figure. I think one of the best sculpts that Hasbro made at the time. It's perfect overall. So anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. Always lots more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always greatly appreciate your support. And check out some of the links in the description if you have not done so already. As always, thanks for watching.